Last up, ending off the prelims, we got Ignacio Bahamondes and Zhu Rong. Rong Zhu is actually what we're going with here now. I really like where both of these guys are coming from. You saw Rong Zhu kicked off his UFC career in a bit of a surprising loss, but came back strong. I really like the way he uses his wrestling. He traces it hard. He's sticking to you like glue. He kind of looks like an old school Matt Hughes, right? But now we talk about a guy like Ignacio Bahamondes who from a very young age is basically a national Muay Thai and kickboxing champion in Chile. He comes from a long line of fighters in his family. There's something about his style that just screams technique. It screams flow. The areas that I'm curious of is how good is the takedown defense against a guy like Rongzu, who's going to be coming 3 rounds straight, whether you like it or not. You talk about him having 100% takedown defense. I think Rongzu is going to do everything he can to challenge that. You talk about the fight against John McDessie, which was a split decision. A lot of different things we've seen from Bahamondes, Dana with Contender Series, knockout the way he did. It makes you excited to watch him fight. He's got the knees coming up the middle constantly, big elbows, just a lot of great things you want to see from a guy who's that long. So for me, it's just really tough to visualize Rongzhu getting close enough and staying that sticky, because a guy like Bahamondes is going to be moving at all times to make the most of his space. And that's where, you talk about plan Bs and what Rongzhu can do. Whether it's not the striking side of things, it's, working him into the fence, finding ways to cut off his ankles, and just really force him to do things that he definitely does not want to be doing. And that's kind of the way you can overcome some of these types of, matchmakings where a guy who's coming in with that much, reach advantage on you, and even if you're not so confident in your striking, it could be a very long night for you, and not to mention a long recovery. So I like Ignacio as a minus 160 favorite here. I think that there is some recency bias. I think that his time spent over the last year just within the octagon and finding his footing in that sense from a very physical perspective, it's just hard for me to bet against him here if I had to. So let's go Ignacio Bahamondes as a minus 160 favorite. It just makes a whole lot of sense to me. And we are at minus 220 for Bahamondes. And yeah, it's gone up to minus 275 at some places. Zoo is now dropping to that plus 200 or more. Stay tuned for that one. I think Bahamondes has that one in the bag. A couple good lines that we need to check out later in the week, so stay tuned for that.